Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Christine Huang. I am the Bluestem Chair, and with me today is Mindy Jackson, one of our co-chairs for the Reading Committee. We are here to introduce the 2026 Bluestem Award list, how to access the resources, and also how to promote the Bluestem nominees to your students and patrons. We also want to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the process and the procedure of the Bluestem Committee. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, and so here are wonderful pictures as well. So let's begin the process by nominating books. The Bluestem Committee and also this entire process and all the wonderful books that you read cannot begin without the books that are nominated by teachers, educators, librarians, and of course, students. So the information that we need to nominate a book is right on your screen. If you go to the IL website and go under Readers Choice Awards and click on Bluestem, on the right-hand side under General Information, you'll see the nomination form. We're looking for books that are not only to educate, to entertain, or inspire, but also to spark imagination, foster critical thinking, and enhance lifelong learning. So if you have a book in mind that you think is perfect for third through fifth graders that have a little hook that might have them fall in love with reading, we would definitely want you to nominate that book. So please go to the website that or the link that is on your screen at il.org slash bluestem, and it will go on to our list. The deadline to nominate books for the 2027 list is May 1st, which is coming up very quickly. We take in and vet all of the books to make sure that they are appropriate for Bluestem, but for the 2027 list, the deadline is May 1st. Anything that is nominated or submitted after that date will go on to the 2028 list. Um, so although anyone can nominate a book, not all books are eligible for the Bluestem Award. Before nominating a book, please make sure it meets all of the criteria that is listed here, especially the first three. The nominator must have read the book must be in print at the time of nomination because there were a couple years in the past where uh, libraries and schools had a hard time getting the books. And so please make sure that the books are in print at the time of nomination. And then also most important, the book must be of interest and appeal to students in grades 3 through 5 because that is the main focus of the Bluestem Committee. Again, we are still in need of book nominations for 2027. So if you have any mystery, spooky, sci-fi, fantasy, fun and informative nonfiction, short biographies, or graphic novels, please, please, please nominate them by May 1st. All right, it is our pleasure to introduce the nominees for the 2026 Bluestem Award. On each slide, we have provided the basic information about each nominee, as well as a list of read-alikes that you and your students may enjoy. So I hope you enjoy listening to the summaries that Mindy and I have prepared. So to start us off, we have Dogtown. Welcome to Dogtown, a sanctuary for unwanted dogs with nowhere else to go. Among the residents is Chance, a scrappy and determined stray who's hoping for a forever home. Chance's life changes when he befriends a robotic dog named Metalhead, who has been cast aside by humans. Together, the unlikely duo embarks on a journey of friendship and discovery. As Chance and Metalhead navigate the ups and downs of life in Dogtown, they uncover secrets, form bonds with other dogs, and learn the true meaning of loyalty and hope. Can Chance and his friends find the happiness they've always longed for? Take a walk into their adventure and see what happens next.
All right, the next book is the Area 51 Files. We've all probably heard of Area 51, an area made famous for its supposed unidentified flying object research. But what if you actually ended up there? That's what happens to 12-year-old Sky Patel. She's an orphan raised by her grandmother until her uncle Anish becomes her sole caretaker. Sky always thought he lived in another remote part of the world. But the truth is, Uncle Anish is a high-ranking official within Area 51. Those that live in Area 51 can never leave. So now Sky is there too, and she's finding out a whole lot more about alien life forms than she ever dreamed possible.
All right, next we have swim team. Bree can't wait to start middle school, but her excitement turns into anxiety when she discovers that the only elective left is swim class, and she doesn't know how to swim. Determined to overcome her water phobia, Bree reluctantly joins the swim team. With the help of her new friends and a supportive coach, Bree starts to navigate the challenges of learning to swim and overcoming her nerves. As Bree improves her swimming skills, she also learns valuable lessons about teamwork, perseverance, and self-confidence. Will Bree conquer her fear of the water and find her place on the swim team? Dive into her story to uncover the answers.
Next is Fighting for Yes, the story of disability rights activist Judith Heumann. Imagine if you could not walk and you needed to use a wheelchair. Would you think that you should still be allowed to attend school? Should you be allowed to be hired for a job for which you're qualified while using a wheelchair? Should you be able to go into buildings? Now imagine if that answer was no. That's what life was like for Judy. Judy was born in 1947, and as a toddler, she contracted polio, which left her unable to walk. She used a wheelchair for the rest of her life. Judy became an advocate for disability rights.
Next, we have A Plate of Hope, the inspiring story of Chef Jose Andres and the World Central Kitchen. Journey through Chef Jose Andres' life, who went from being a young boy from Spain who loved cooking, especially paella, to becoming the founder of the World Central Kitchen organization. To Jose Andreas, he believes food isn't just about eating. It's about helping people and giving them hope. In his kitchen, all are welcome. This picture book biography shares the inspiring story of one man's heart and legacy to bring hope to people in need, one meal at a time.
Next book is Rumasia, A Fairy Tale. What would you get if you wove the fairy tales of Rapunzel, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty together with brown skinned girls who wore hijabs? You'd get a different take on some familiar stories. Would that change the outcome of the stories at all? Find out.
Next, we have Good Different. Selah, a quiet and creative middle schooler, always felt different from her classmates. She often struggles with social interactions and finds solace in her vivid imagination and writing. Everything changes when Selah's unique perspective on the world catches the attention of her teacher, who encourages her to share her voice. But as Selah steps into the spotlight, she faces both the excitement and challenges of being seen and heard. Balancing the expectations of her family and friends and herself, Selah must learn to embrace her differences and find the strength to stay true to who she really is.
Next book, Butt or Face. Sometimes it's hard to tell at which end of the animal we are looking. Faces can be colorful, hairy, or bumpy, but so can butts. Test your skills in this funny nonfiction book.
Next, we have The Deep, Wildlife at the Ocean's Darkest Depths. Get ready to dive into the mysterious world of the deep ocean, where strange and fascinating creatures live in complete darkness. Swim through each of the ocean's layers and meet animals like the glowing fish, the giant squids, and even the headless chicken monster. Through colorful illustrations and fun facts, you'll explore how these creatures survive in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. A wonderful book for any budding marine biologist.
Next book is Squished. Avery Lee is 11 years old, and more than anything, she wants her own room. You see, Avery has 6 brothers and sisters. She already shares her room with her younger sister, and now her baby brother is going to get moved in as well. She wants a space of her own to draw and to paint, where her younger sisters and brothers won't mess it up. On top of this frustration, her parents are thinking about moving to another state, even though all her friends are here. If you've ever felt a bit squished in your own family, then this is the book for you.
Next, we have Millionaires for the Month. Benji and Felix are two regular kids whose lives take a wild turn when they find a billionaire's lost wallet in Central Park. Tempted by the fortune they stumble upon, they take $20 from the wallet and return the rest. Instead of a simple thank you, they are met with a jaw dropping challenge. Spend $5 million in 30 days without buying anything they get to keep. Sounds easy, right? Not quite. From fancy dinners to wild shopping sprees, the duo quickly discovers that managing millions is a lot harder than it looks. As they race against the clock, Benji and Felix must navigate the tricky waters of friendship, ethics, and the true meaning of wealth. Will they succeed in their mission or get lost in the allure of newfound riches?
Next, we have Curl Friends, new in town. Charlie Harper is 12 years old and she's about to start at a new middle school. Her family moved a lot because her dad was in the Air Force, but now he's retired and they settled in his hometown. On her first day at her new school, Charlie styled her outfit just right. She's wearing contacts instead of her usual glasses. She pep talked herself into giving a great first impression to her new classmates. And then a bucket of water was dropped on her head. A moment like this could really ruin her first day until she meets her first girlfriend.
Next, we have Better with Butter. Marvel is a fifth grader who's been struggling with anxiety, finding it hard to navigate school and friendships. Every day, everything changes when she meets Butter. Butter isn't any ordinary goat. She is a fainting goat who freezes and falls over whenever she feels panic. Butter's playful spirit and unique characteristic brings a sense of joy and calm to Marvel's chaotic world, forging a bond that gives her the courage to face her fears. With Butter by her side, Marvel learns to handle the challenges of school and life. But when Butter's original owners come back into the picture, Marvel must find out how to stand up for her newfound friend and herself. Can Marvel find a way to keep Butter and keep her anxiety at bay? Read to find out.
Next up is Batcat. Batcat liked living alone in the treehouse, so when a ghost shows up that will not leave, Batcat must take action. The Island Witch, who was neither a good witch nor a bad witch, sends Batcat on a quest to find three ingredients to make a spell to get rid of the ghost. Adventures ensue.
All right, next we have The Guardian Test, the first book in the legend of Lotus Island. Plum, a quiet and determined girl, is shocked when she's accepted into the prestigious Guardian Academy on Lotus Island. This magical school trains kids to become guardians, protectors of the natural world who can transform into powerful animal forms. While her classmates begin to unlock their inner creatures, Plum struggles to find her own transformation and fears she doesn't belong. As Plum navigates the challenges of the academy, she discovers hidden strengths, forms unexpected friendships, and learns that being a guardian is about more than just magic. With the fate of her place at the academy hanging in the balance, Plum must dig deep to uncover her true potential and prove that she has what it takes to be a guardian.
Next up is The Lost Library. On November 5th, 1999, the Public Library of Martinville burned to the ground. How the fire got started was a mystery that had never been solved. But the day a free little library showed up had people thinking about the fire again. This story is told from the point of view of three narrators: Evan, an 11-year-old boy who discovers the free little library, Al, the library ghost, and Mortimer, a beautiful cat with 6 toes on each foot.
Next, we have Nell of Gumbling, My Extremely Normal Fairy Tale Life. Nell lives in the charming village of Gumbling, where everything is perfectly ordinary, or so she thinks. With her bright spirit and boundless curiosity, Nell navigates her daily life filled with school, friends, and family. But soon she discovers that her town and the people in it are anything but normal. As Nell embarks on a whimsical adventure, she uncovers magical secrets, encounters fantastic creatures, and learns that her seemingly normal life is actually a fairy tale in disguise. With the help of her friends and her own creativity, Nell discovers that sometimes unexpected paths can lead to the most magical adventures.
Escape at 10,000 feet. Unsolved case files. On November 24th of 1971, a man who bought a ticket with the name Dan Cooper boarded Flight 305 from Portland International Airport headed for Seattle, Washington. While in flight, he handed a note to the flight attendant stating that he had a bomb. He demanded $200,000 and four parachutes. The FBI was alerted and Mr. Cooper's demands were met. When the plane landed, the rest of the passengers got off the plane. A flight attendant retrieved the money and parachutes, and five people remained on the plane: the captain, the first officer, the flight engineer, one flight attendant, and Mr. Cooper. The plane took off again. While back in flight, 10,000 feet in the air, Mr. Cooper opened the rear escape door of the plane and he put down the rear stairs. He then descended the stairs and jumped. 9 years later, $5,800 was found along a riverbank that matched the serial numbers of the marked bills. No other money was ever found. No body was found either. This is the only unsolved airplane hijacking case in the United States.
Next, we have The Double Life of Danny Day. Meet Danny Day, an extraordinary kid with an unbelievable secret. He lives each day twice. While everyone else experiences each day only once, Danny gets a second chance to redo everything. Imagine the fun and chaos he can get into with a special ability like that. But living two versions of the same day isn't as easy as it sounds. Danny's unique power pulls him into all sorts of trouble, like trying to outsmart bullies, navigating tricky friendships, and even uncovering hidden mysteries at school. With every choice he makes, Danny has to decide whether to play it safe or take a chance. Will his special gift turn into a curse, or will it help him discover who he truly is?
The Misfits, a royal conundrum. Olive is a self-proclaimed misfit who feels out of place wherever she goes. When she's sent to Rasch, Rasch, a mysterious boarding school housed in a former castle, Olive quickly realizes that this is no ordinary school. Rasch is actually a secret academy for training young misfits to become elite crime fighters. Olive is grouped with a quirky team of fellow students, each with their own unique talents and flaws. Their first mission: to stop a legendary thief from pulling off the heist of the century. As Olive and her team navigate the challenges of teamwork, uncover hidden secrets, and face unexpected twists, they must prove that even misfits can rise to the occasion.
All right, so those were our nominees for the 2026 Bluestem Award. I hope you enjoyed our summaries for all 20 of our nominated books for this year, for this coming year. I would like to share a fantastic opportunity called YouTube Author Chats. This is a popular program that we offer through Bluestem. All Illinois schools and libraries are eligible to win an opportunity to chat live with one of the authors from the 2026 Bluestem list. So here's how it works. If you are interested, please fill out the Google form for your school or library on the IL calendar on the main page or through one of our social media web pages. We randomly choose 6 classrooms or libraries with each author, and our Bluestem publicity team contacts the schools or libraries that won about 2 weeks in advance so that you have enough time to prepare and or change schedules, making sure that you are able to be a part of this wonderful opportunity. During the live session, the classes and students will take turns asking the author questions. The video chat is about 30 minutes long. And also please be aware that the author chats are recorded and will be posted on the IO YouTube page for other Illinois classrooms, schools, and students to enjoy. If you would like to see any of our previous YouTube author chats, down in the left-hand corner, please follow the instructions by typing in at aisle 3412 in the YouTube search bar and then click on the aisle logo. You will see all of our previous author chats and also all of the wonderful questions that our students have asked the authors in the past. So if you're excited to be a part of this, I would highly encourage you to sign up to be eligible to win. So next, I would like to explain some of how to be a part of our voting participation requirements. And so if you can register on the ILA website by January 16th, 2026 and pay $10, you can access all of our wonderful resources and voting items. Uh, Please remember, libraries, you only need to provide a minimum of 12 titles from the master list of the 20 titles in order to be eligible to be a voting site. And each child should have read or heard at least four of the titles in order to be allowed to vote. So that they have a chance to actually choose which books are their favorite. Um, there are some motivational activities that we also provide that we will share on a future slide. And the total votes are cast for each school, and the results are reported by the deadline March 15th. Um, and so it's a really exciting for the students to have their voice heard and also to find out which book won for that particular year. And then so Mindy will explain about some of the programs that you can do in your schools and libraries.
Okay, so whether you work within a school, an elementary school, or a public library, there's different things that you can do. Some different, some the same. I think a book talk in a school library where the kids are your captive audience is a wonderful thing to do to introduce them to some topics or some genres that maybe they're not familiar with, or maybe a particular book has a subject matter that's gripping to a particular student, and they might not even know about that unless you tell them with a book talk. um, when I go visit schools, I work at a public library, but I go visit our local school district schools, and I incorporate my book talks with a slideshow that shows a picture of the book, and just some other details about the book that I can share. Um, let's see. So if you're at a school library, you can borrow copies of the book from the public library or interlibrary loan. Um, or if your students come to your library or your media center having library time, I know a lot of school librarians, they tend to read the picture book length books to their students, as a way of sharing the books with them and kind of getting them motivated to read more books on the list. Um, some teachers in the classroom have chosen certain of the chapter books to do a read aloud with their whole class together, which is nice because I know schools are limited in how many copies of the books that they can have. So if a teacher reads it and, say like 20 kids hear that book, then that's, a wonderful way of making sure more kids are an audience to these titles. You could do a book club within your school, maybe during recess time, or maybe an after school book club, perhaps. And then, as Christine mentioned, the author visits the YouTube chats that are provided by the Bluestem Committee. Battle of the Books. I know in my school district where I work, a lot of these Bluestem books are chosen to be books for the battles. So that's nice too, because then the kids are really paying attention to a lot of the details of these books. Of course, you could have displays within your school library. And I know in my school district, it's the school libraries that provide um, locations for voting. They make it a school-wide activity, those schools that sign up and join ISLE for this. Um, and let's see, in the public libraries displays, again, like we would have maybe multiple copies, let's say like 5 copies of each of the nominees available at the public library. We put them all together with the display. I create bookmarks, and we put those bookmarks by the display so that if kids are really paying attention and they want to make sure they read at least 4 of these books, then there's a handy little way that they can have a whole list of books at hand. Um, Audiobooks, playaways, if your public library provides those. I always mention when I'm doing the book talk, if this book that is chosen for the nominee is part of a series, because then it's a way for a kid who might really like a particular book to keep going with a series that they have been introduced to and now enjoy. Again, book clubs, with the public library with special programming, book talks at the public library, programs based on the themes in one of these books. And I know Christine will talk more about the resources committee, but they'll come up with activities, display ideas, games, things like that, or STEM ideas that could be provided, like the resources committee will provide those per book. And of course, having the public library be a voting site as well. So these are just a few ways that you can promote these books or the reading of these books at your school or public library. I know the next slide, Christine, if you forward the next one, just shows some examples of the way displays have been handled in various libraries. Especially that top picture on the left-hand side, the caudal, the monarch, the blue stems, all grouped together in one setting is very handy when people are coming into a public library. I know that. And in school libraries too, the kids always want to know, like, oh, where can I find all of these books that I've just heard about? Well, it's nice that they're all in one, collected area. Um, Oh, ebooks too. Sometimes the schools are able to provide these as ebooks. Public libraries, if the book is available in that format, should be able to do this as well. Um, QR codes for scannable links to the lists. That'd be one thing that you could do, or even put a QR code on a bookmark, for a kid to revisit the list again and again. Um, and those are a few ideas.
Thank you, Mindy. I also forgot to mention for the YouTube author chats, the dates and times for the 2026 master list will be available, I believe, starting in August. We're still trying to confirm with the authors of what date and times they are available, and so we will start posting the YouTube author chat dates and times for you to sign up starting in August. Let me continue on with what resources are included when you register. These resources can help you promote the Bluestem books in your schools and libraries, which Mindy has alluded to. So when you pay your $10, we will send you resources, curriculum guides, and ideas for each of the 2026 Bluestem titles to spark and enhance the students' interests. So a couple of things that you might want are the Google slide presentation of all 20 nominees. We have voting forms, paper and digital, bookmarks. Also, some of you may be doing Battle of the Books at your school or libraries. We provide some Battle of the Book questions for each nominee, about 10 to 15 questions for each book. We also provide curriculum guides that have read-alikes, STEAM tie-ins, discussion questions, book pairings, lesson plans, and so for $10, this is quite a bit, and it's all due to the hard work of our wonderful resources committee that brings together all of these and researches all of these wonderful ideas for you to implement in your own classrooms. So these are some of the things that you might be interested in when you pay your $10. So the 2024 resources are now available for free on the Bluestem website. The 2025 resources, I believe, will become available on the IL website this summer, either in July or August. We are working on the 2026 resources right now, and so they will become available either in July or August for the $10 soon. So stay tuned for that. So here are some of the resources that you can see on our resources when you do pay to become a voting site. These are some of the resources that could be recommended for your class and or students. This is a book from the 2024 Bluestem list, but there might be recipes, there might be a math activity, some discussion tie-ins, some exciting activities that could really bring the book alive and or dive deeper into different topics or subjects. Here's another one, awesome about charts. Many of these resources are free and or low cost. So someone found Skype a Scientist for only $10 and or play shark trivia games. So these ideas uh, are usually very, very low cost or free and just very simple that you can implement maybe on a rainy day uh, or or um, or on a snow day if you have those anymore. Um, you can implement these activities in your classrooms to have a little fun with the Bluestem Award. All right. So, if you are interested in seeing how these books get to the master list, how about joining one of our committees? We have three committees that you can join, and this is an opportunity for your voice, a teacher, educator, and/or librarian's voice, to be heard. You can be a spokesperson for your district and be a part of making our list as well-rounded and as engaging for your students as you can. So we do have three committees. The nominations committee is a 3-year term. The nominations committee takes the books that are nominated, and we vet them. We make sure that that they meet all of the Bluestem Award criteria, but we also make sure that they are appropriate or are really focus on 3rd through 5th grade. This committee reads all year round, an average about 4 to 5 books a month. Please keep in mind that this also includes nonfiction picture books, graphic novels, so any combination of those types of books you will read per month. The meeting will be in July, and again, it is a 3-year commitment. The next committee that we have is the reading committee, who does the main work to boil all the nominated books into a list of 20. So the list that you see every year, the reading committee is the main committee that creates that list. They read from the end of August to February, and then they meet in February to discuss which books they would really appeal to 3rd through 5th graders and really get them to fall in love with reading. Again, this volunteering for this committee is also a 3-year commitment. And lastly, and our newest committee, we've only been having this committee for several years now, is our resource committee. This is a 3-month, 1-year commitment. Usually we contact you from March till May, and we assign you one book from the list of 20. You are to gather lesson plans, activities, and resources, but once you are finished, that you are done for your term. That is only a 1-year commitment. The perk of joining this resource committee is you might be able to get a sneak peek of the following year's list before everyone else does, and might be able to order those books ahead of everyone else. We just recommend that you keep the list confidential until IL releases it officially. But that is one of the perks of joining the resources committee. So you only have to be assigned one book to read and to gather resources for, and then also you get a sneak peek of the entire list of 20 before the rest of the world knows of what is on the Bluestem list. Also, another perk for the all three committees is we provide professional development hours for all of our volunteers. So if you are interested, please fill out the volunteer form on the IO website. Again, IO, aisled.org/bluestem. And then on the right-hand side, under general information, fill out the volunteer form. We do need quite a bit of volunteers every year. And we do try to balance out the committees with a number of school librarians, teachers, as well as public librarians as well. If you are not chosen for that year, please do not worry. We keep you on a list for 3 years because we may just have filled out all of our space for that particular year. But for resources committee, we always need at least 20 volunteers. If there are more, we may pair you up on a particular book, so it may be easier for you, but resources is a really good way to step into joining and being a part of our Bluestem committee. So if you are interested, please do sign up. Um, all right. So if you have any questions or want to learn more about the Bluestem Award Committee, you can contact us by email at bluestem@ild.org. For any news or announcements, please visit us on any of our social media sites. We just created an Instagram and Blue Sky account, and so there might not be very much on those accounts yet, but it is still under construction. So please excuse our dust, but we will be starting to post some of 2026 is resources, news, and announcements, as well as our YouTube author chats. The forms will be on those as well. So if you want to follow us on those Instagram and or Blue Sky websites, I would recommend it. We will keep you up to date on any new information that we may have. Let's see. We have anything else? All right, so that concludes our presentation for the 2026 Bluestem Award nominees. If you have any questions, Mindy and I will be around to answer them for the next couple of minutes. But thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful afternoon and day.